Time for Overpass, the fourth map and last map of the European show. I don't want to sit this close to you, I'm sorry. So again, this is the pick of NiP. If you are just joining us, they lost the first map with a strong score for Fnatic. And let's see, Fnatic have won the knife round, so one would presume they'll choose the CT side. We will find out very shortly indeed.
Should be NiP's though, regardless. Should be NiP's map.
All right then.
Redemption should be claimed. Salvation should be had.
Strong statements.
On Overpass. I mean, we just saw Fnatic on it against Mouse Sports. They did look a little bit lost here or there. And, I mean, when Mouse Sports were having, or rather when Fnatic were getting rounds, it was mostly because of Mouse Sports making some weird mistakes of just like going 1 versus 1 against Twist 4 times in a row, which is not great. But we'll see if that can be remedied here. Or if that can be avoided, rather. Simple pistol round, though, as we'll have NiP marching into the B-bomb site. Lecro, that is fantastic stuff there with that the USP. And Forest is going to finish things off, however, for NiP to give them the start that they need.
Fast pistol round. We've seen some slow pistol rounds this week, Dan, but that was not a slow one. Ed shots, as the French would say, being delivered. Now let's see what the response is from Fnatic. We have Lecro on the scout, the rest of the team on pistols. Twist on the CZ. I do wonder, actually, I'll wonder afterwards, after this walk into B. Do you know what I love, Dan? I love it when the players go into B with no flashbangs. Because no flashbangs means there is no preparation, there is no warning. I mean, there was a HE towards the barrel, which is not something I've seen too much of. I do wonder how much damage can be done. It seems a bit short, but other than that, on a on a rare round, B with no grenades is always interesting to see, especially when you know that your opponent's going to be ill-equipped.
Yeah, it's always good as well that you know, when you see NiP running the anti-ecos, they understand that sometimes you have to run them very quickly, and sometimes this is the best way to go. This is reminiscent. I mean, this is a very similar map to Dust 2 and how you run the anti-ecos actually, because Dust 2 your options are A-Long, which is probably the best one, and the same on this map. A-Long is probably the best option here as well. And the alternative is a very fast play in the tunnels through onto the B-bomb site through a pretty sheer choke point. But once you get past the initial choke point, it gets really easy. And which is exactly like the situation on Monster as well into B on this map. So they're very similar actually in how you have your 2 best anti-eco, anti-force buy options. And we're going to see them have the choice between those 2 rounds again. And it looks like they will choose the B-bomb site again. And once again, it is just a walk in through the monster tunnel. I like it.
Olofmeister going down towards the short position. 3 AK still remained for NiP. Twist with all of 1 HP. 1 turned into none. So it's Dennis with some nice tags, but the frags will go the way of NiP. So some players lost, but the clean sheet retains. And here is the big round, the important round for the CT side. Losing the pistol means it's even more important for them to be successful in this round. Otherwise, they'll be off to a very bad start indeed. And that's never what you want on a map such as Overpass. Wenton leading the charge. He's above the connector area, and he has. Oh, this is almost like a Astralis play actually, but it's not going to go in favor of NiP. Going for the fast B split, it seems. At least for some of the players. Forest will answer back late into connector. There is a play that Astralis do, which has that fast smoke into connector and a fast play, but it's just a complete charge into the B bomb site, splitting through short B. Something I feel like they try to hold on to for the bigger tournaments, but there have been some online matches where a pretty sticky situation required a kitchen sink and it came out. Now we see something similar from NiP. Forest getting taken down in connector. There is an advantage for almost at the Swedish side, for Fnatic. The bomb's still in possession of Exist, but he's far away from his teammate Makalele, close to Monster. And we have a lurker in Olofmeister looking for a bomb to take away.
Yeah, it's quite a good spot for Fnatic because a one-on-one can be had, and Lekko could get quite lucky. Oh, he gets the dink, so he gets... it's okay because, and this is one of the reasons why it's good for Fnatic, is because the rotation's so fast, and that frag is made on the trade very quickly. Exus can absolutely clutch this though. That smoke can be very helpful if you can just get into position to use it, but already having to worry about two fronts is a big problem. One-on-one taken by Dennis, which he will win with a wide peak, and Fnatic will claim the first buy round on the CT side of theirs, but plenty of money to be spread out for the NiP players to get a nice buy that should be sufficient for them to run any kind of round that they would like to run in this round that we are seeing here, round 5.
The same cannot be said for the money on Fnatic. Lekko forced onto the UMP. They have got a lot of grenades though, the CT side. Twist with a nice jumping grenade in case of any fast aggression, and a follow-up shot. Some contribution from Dennis as well. That is unfortunate for Get Right, and that's a great start for Fnatic, especially since they only had 2 players surviving in the previous round. Perhaps the AK will be taken away later on. What is the response here from NiP? They've got Freiberg moving through Connector on his lonesome. The high ground is being covered somewhat by Exist, and Makalele is now going for a slow push towards short B. As you can see, there is a hole in the door, so Freiberg can offer some support as well as the flashbang. And indeed, the jumping, peeping Tom has gone away to pastures new.
A door has been opened. That should be heard, I think, by the player that's close to the jungle position. Now, NiP have 40 seconds to go, and they're starting to move the bomb back towards B. Exist able to start harassing towards A long now. That's very important, the timing of that, because he needs to be able to do that and still be able to arrive after putting presence on A at the B bomb side as his teammates have just taken it or are in the process of taking it. And he is indeed in place at the right time. Fnatic have a bunch of players here though. It looks like Fnatic have a good rotation into this. Can they hit the shots? So far, so good. A Twist with 2 there. Dennis with 1. Leaves just 1 man left. And Fnatic are going to shut it down. 2-3. NiP did look a little bit lost there for options, as they had to just run in with the low amount of time left.
There were 2. I think there were 2 players in Connector spraying through the wall into the short B tunnel as well. You saw Dennis got a assist for that kill, but there were 2 players in Connector. So there were 3 people shooting Get Right at once. And that's when you know a team might just be ready for overpass. Dennis coming down into Connector on an anti-eco round, but he only drops an MP9. We saw Skodoodle doing that yesterday with an AWP. Didn't work out so well. But that's information at a reduced cost, a limited cost for Fnatic. Lekro and Olofmeister towards B. Moving back to deeper positions, having a look towards short. With the man down now and the clock ticking, their information won't be as good as it was. Does have a sell-by date. Wenton, nice angle there again. The shadows expose the T players from that position, but Olofmeister can only offer so much cover, so Wenton moves back to a safer position because Olofmeister has to look towards long as well.
Yeah, Wenton's ready though. Fnatic have just slowly been allowing the space to go to NiP. They know what's up. Nice headshot though from Get Right. That's going to make things a little bit more complicated. Wenton has to defend by the truck position, somewhat alone for the time being. He's got some support coming in, and there it is. Twist takes down Makalele, and I have absolutely adored the performances we've seen today from Twist. He's been amazing. He's been so amazing. This is one of the reasons why, for quite a long time, it was speculated and deeply desired that Twist would be that 5th man for NiP, because if we cast our minds back, they were struggling for that 5th man. It was Makalele, it was Alu, it was Pitts, and many believed that it should always have been Twist.
I just want to say, Wenton threw a smoke into the middle of a tree. So next time you see my bad smoke on overpass, just know that there's much worse than the pro players. So we've got the NiP side charging in now. Get Right's got a P90. He'll have a P90. But Freiberg will be the first engager. Dennis goes down. There's another CT in the water. Can he be found? Flash doesn't go too far, but Twist will hold his teammate, keep him safe. advantages with NiP, however. Wenton coming through connector. He'll go down as well. Forest lost in the meantime. Short Monster in control of NiP as the CTs come in from CT. Smokes to deploy. That may force NiP out from their hiding places. They have the first defuse attempt. Jumping, Get Right gets taken down. Slam dunked by Twist. Both players heavily tagged now on the NiP side, but Twist has no help, has no cover from Makalele coming through Monster. And we've still got Exist on the barrels on the sandbags. This will force Lecro from his position. The round has been conceded.
Yeah, that was a pretty awesome shot from Twist in the smoke there on sandbags. I was liking that one. Lecro survives with that AWP, and that's going to be a really big win because they can buy, of course, still, but they may not have been wanting to get an AWP in there. But the AWP will, in fact, go to Mr. Olofmeister. Olofmeister. The song is just stuck in my head now, James, and we're on overpass and everything.
You did it to yourself?
Boostmeister.
Will we see that boost from Fnatic, actually?
I'm pretty sure we will not.
Yeah, we didn't see it.
You're talking about the 4-man boost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to happen. It's like the most impractical boost I've ever seen. It requires all 5 players.
Is it 5 or is it 4?
No, 5 players because you have to run boost the last guy after the 3 people already stacked.
Ah.
You've got to run boost the last guy.
That's dedication. NiP charging through to the A site. Heads are getting popped like grapes between fingers. Dennis on the flank though, no one's covering. And the bomb, eventually the bomb plant gets stopped. Freiberg must not be happy with that. Makalele almost being paid off there, killing his teammates, almost. But they'll prevail. Another fast round. NiP changing the pace, and it's working. Fnatic have been broken again. You have to wonder if this is the pace that NiP originally desired. Either way, it's working for the time being.
So far, yes, it's looking pretty good. And we expect the NiP to win this one. I think, you know, it would be quite weird if Fnatic were able to win, and it would be basically just upon individual skill. That because NiP has shown, you know, that they have good anti-ecos, they've got good drills. Of course, they've got all that left over from. I mean, they're a very good team. They've had some inconsistencies. They're forced to play with Makalele for the time being, but it's not like that's a completely new thing for them. I'm going to have to hold that thought. We do have a bit of a push coming in here from the CTs, but they are about to get annihilated. Annihilation has been set upon them by Mr. Makalele.
Michael Lele.
Michael Lele.
So NiP are heading towards 3 rounds on either side of the 3 that Fnatic have claimed. Fnatic's loss bonus will be rising once again, but it's their score that needs to rise. Outcome the M4s, no cash for an AWP for Twist. I remember there was a short period of time when Chris J couldn't buy an AWP, he would go for a Krieg instead. I don't think he's still doing that. It was a brief time on Cobblestone that we saw that.
We've got a running set piece onto the B-bomb side potentially from NiP here. I was actually expecting a play towards A with the AWP, but they're going to go for the walkthrough monster. Necro is very blind and very dead. And at the same time, Fnatic were expecting exactly what I was expecting because they went for a 3-man setup deep towards the A-long area, which puts them at the worst rotation time possible. It is the worst opening to deal with what NiP just did, which is walk into B very quickly. So NiP picking a very strong strategy, and Fnatic with the misread.
This is basically GG for this round already.
Yeah, it is.
And indeed, it shows you the problems again of having the smoke inside A on Monster. Get Right move towards short B on that round. I know Dignitas, I don't know how much they use it, but I know they have pop flashes from the short B position over towards Monster to exploit said smoke, but you can also just drop one, right click, which may be what we saw there.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually, because I saw the AWP from Forest and I was like, I feel like we're going to see a picking round towards A from them, where they maybe put some focus on A-long, trying to win the battles there. But they just walked into Monster. That was very surprising for me. But yeah, they pulled that off very, very well because of Fnatic's choice. And now Fnatic, they managed to save a bunch of guns. And NiP are pretty fine with this. And I love that Molotov as well, just denies some presence early on for the CTs into sewers, which basically delays information that they could get otherwise if they were to walk into sewers, because if the CTs are standing in sewers, that immediately tells them a lot about what's happening in the round. And they're going to actually be there now anyway, pushing through straight after the Molotov. But already NiP have pushed very deep up A long, and the push is going to start.
Very nice shot. Sweeping shot by ECS straight in the head. And we've got Wenton pushing through the toilets area. He's trying to force the issue. The bomb's rotating towards B, but it may be a slow rotation because there are no eyes towards B for NiP. In fact, the bomb's moving back. Similar to what we saw from Mousesports. Could this be a rotation into B through T-spawn? Wenton by toilets. Lecro is jump peeking, trying to find out if anything's going on towards short B, but also keeping a very passive eye towards Monster. So if there is a push for Lecro, he's going to be in a bad spot. He's there on his own at the moment. ECS taken down by the toilets. So that may keep people entertained towards the A site. Now Twist has come in to support Wenton a little bit deeper. Dennis is starting to move over towards B. Will he get there in time though? Forest going to be a key player for the side. Rest of NiP in front of the Monster tunnel. They still time to rotate if Forest gets a kill, and there it is. Dennis wondering what's going on. He's a non-believer. He may realize what is happening here. Two-man sprint impossible, but Freiburg will trade.
They're looking really good for NiP. 10 seconds though. Uh-oh, this is bad. That is not a situation that's allowed to happen. It's just Freiburg now. He has to plant the bomb. There's no other choice. Gets it down in the smoke. Can he get out of there alive? He somehow makes his way into the water, but still takes one straight to the top of his dome.
Dome. Millennium Dome.
Freestyler.
Another one in the bag. I forgot about that song. Fnatic with a desperate round. But the pressure will continue with the buy of NiP. And Fnatic will have next to nothing in the hole. So NiP have a chance. They've got a reasonable chance to go for an 11-4 half. But first they will need to break the bats. Olof and Wenton pushing forwards. Olof can play around the smoke for a while, with Wenton covering his back. He will be exposed somewhat to connected area though. Fighting through flashbangs and smoke. Olof Meister will take Makelele down. There goes Get Right, finally traded. Another fast round, but this time it's advantage Fnatic.
Yeah, on the players, that is for sure, but there's still a lot for the NiP side to work with as they managed to take down one person as well, which is always workable as CTs, usually because the CTs will start to give up some positioning, play more passively. One, to kind of fall back on their advantage a little bit, but also because they can't risk losing the advantage. And interestingly, they want to really double down on this. They know there's players here to be taken down, try to exert their tactical edges, and it's going to result in a frag. But there's still one more player. I don't know if they realize that Forrest is there. He could get so many kills. There's one. There. Oh, I thought for sure he was going to get it, but Wenton shuts him down. Now it's just ECS.
So many maggots being chased by players. Maggots on hook stand. And then a hook ripped people's faces off. So, NiP had a good chance to break Fnatic, but they have failed. They can go for the force buy in the sense that it will be lacking in grenades on a number of players, as you can see here. But we have seen a lot of fast rounds, and with the flashbangs and the odd smoke here and there, then maybe this is still doable for them. AWP onto Twist, or AVP, since it's the a Swedish derby. I'll give it to you on this occasion. Every other occasion, it is W. It's an English gun after all. The gun that holds the record for the longest sniper, confirmed sniper killer, over 1.5 miles then. That's insane. 1.5 miles away. And people are getting wrecked. 5 AKs from NiP, 3 moving down the long area, which is currently clear. Again, the AWP was over towards the A bomb site, so they are safe in that regard, but there are sharpshooters on this Fnatic side.
This is so passive from Fnatic, isn't it? It's so incredibly passive. They've given up the entire map to NiP. Usually that's something you really do not want to do against NiP.
Oh my god.
But that is amazing.
Oh my god.
That is frankly amazing. Twist excites me a lot lately. I think he always did, but he just needed the right position.
35 seconds left. The bomb has made its way over towards the B bomb site, but not in the B bomb site. Oh no, this goes down for free. There's no one around to collect the bomb. They've got no time. Twist is wrecking fools. The team that have asked him to join so many times, he's like, no, 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 no. Constant denial, Dan. Leave me alone.
Wow, okay, so Fnatic, I mean, they're really scraping rounds together here on there. And this is the shot. Crouch Bosch. That is godlike.
That is a heavenly shot, Dan.
That's going to be one of the best shots of the week.
Yeah, why not? It's so fast. It's almost akin to the old crouch picking style that is no longer possible with the AWP due to its movement nerf when you are scoped. It was pretty nicely done.
Part of the reasons as well is because it's like it's not a common pre-fire position.
Dennis was colliding with something in the wall there. Kind of slowed down his descent. Dennis just doing Dennis things. If you look at old CLG when JDM was on the side, JDM would be in the short B on the platform area, which is something that they saw another team do, in fairness. And Nade would fly in from the B bomb site. It would break the door and he would get an AWP shot. Dennis will just do it on his own from inside B. Makelele offers NiP a chance, and there's more of a chance. Dennis looking away, maybe thought there was a flashbang coming in, but to no avail. Makelele could open this up for his team. There's 3 kills. He is winning this single-handedly now. Got the one rifle forward side, the bomb still rotating in. There's a flank possible from Exist. This would be a very stolen round if NiP prevail.
Looking pretty good now that Forrest picks up the kill onto Twist. He was trying to rotate. All he wanted to do was rotate. Leave him alone. Poor Twist. Poor Wenton. He has to do this. 3 do not have Kevlar, but they're all dead. Okay. Fnatic stopped in a very horrible manner. Boom. See you later, Lecro.
Very nice work by Makelele.
Yeah.
Very nice work. Oh, I think Dennis was deploying a nade towards Monster at the time. Caught shorts, no pun intended. And that's going to leave Fnatic mostly on pistols.
So it should be somewhat guaranteed. Quite likely that NiP secure this round. Nade there for the jungle position. Twist is going to be doing some work there. They managed to retake sewers. Oh no. Oh dear, James. They've done it. They've moved into the enclosed spaces where the pistols are awesome, and they've become nothing but just lifeless bodies on the ground there.
Stuffed animals, Dan.
Yeah.
They've become rugs with only the head remaining.
So Exist, can he do this? 1 versus 4. He does have some time, but that bomb is the first mission. Oh, he's not good at these missions.
Mission has been failed.
The mission is well and truly failed.
Insert coins to continue.
So that is an interesting half because we saw it was so back and forwards. 3 rounds from NiP, 3 rounds from Fnatic, 4 rounds from NiP, 3 rounds from Fnatic, and then 1 round apiece. Very backwards and forwards. Is this enough for NiP? That is the question. As they move on to the CT side, we'll have to see. Fnatic, you can imagine that they would have a harder time on the T side. So I still feel good for NiP, but let's see how this goes. Can they get the pistol victory? They're going to go for the aggressioning connector. Really important. It can tell you so much about what's going on. You can get kills, you can rotate quickly between the bomb sites, or you can get annihilated by Lecro and Dennis.
Maybe a new dynamic duo emerging in Fnatic. Makelele has got himself a nice forward position, but it's only good for 1 frag and some information. Forrest tapping, but he's going to get tapped as well. Freiburg alone, P2000, a rare sight, P2000. And every bullet will give away his position. He can't do it on this occasion. Olaf Meister will put him out of his misery, and misery may ensue as Fnatic look good to take the lead.
This is really, really painful. There used to be a round actually where NiP would play with P250s in that position on the CT side. They would have loads of P250s on the pistol around there, sitting in the connector area. But I guess they've changed things a little bit here and there. Threat, I think, gave them a lot of creative pistol rounds. But
can Forrest deliver as Twisted?
He is no Twist right now, at least.
Makelele still putting in work with the Deagle.
It is one of the most satisfying things in the game. A deagle headshot. Nothing much beats a deagle headshot.
Nice.
Like a one-shot deagle headshot.
That was as good as Deagle one. Long time ago, perhaps. 3 players aside, Get Right's collected an AWP. Forest continues with the scout. Twist had a Mac 10 earlier, but when the first player died, he collected the AK. And now Get Right's in a position. Oh, he's been spotted already by Olofmeister. The bomb's coming up short as well, so half the information is now known for Fnatic. Half the information has now been taken away permanently. Forest charging in, but he can't get there fast enough. The smoke is already down. In this situation, NiP are headed for another Rico, so he may as well try to save what he can. Then I'm not sure. I know there's a Mac 10 on the floor towards the birthday, but I don't know if there's an AK down as well somewhere. We'll see if he can find any goods, any wares,
when is your birthday?
To collect. My birthday's in April, Dan.
What day?
13th. I was born on Friday, 13th of April. This is a true story.
What year?
1984.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you require? National insurance number?
No. That's fine.
My postcode, my mother's maiden name. Are you a 419 scammer, Dan? Forest still surviving with the scout.
By the slide. By the broken ladder on the rung. All the rungs are broken on the ladder to the slide.
I'm going to inspect this ladder.
Yeah, please do.
I don't believe
it
you.
It is a tetanus risk.
Nor do I trust you. So, oh wow,
it's so spiky and broken.
That is.
Oh, it's wooden, I think.
Yeah, it's wooden. Indeed, it is wooden inserts, if you will. That is terrible.
I wonder who broke it.
One rung.
This is one really factored.
Very poor situation. Oh, that nade slowly colliding with Get Right's face. It is possible for grenades to do 101 damage. I'm not sure what the maximum damage a grenade can do in the game, actually. But I have had a situation against an ecoing player where he's been hit with the grenade, and then the grenade has exploded. So that's
like a headshot or something.
And sometimes it can be, I suppose. But it hit the you heard the collision, which I assumed did 1 HP, and then a grenade did 100. But if you know what the maximum is that a grenade can do to a player sans armor, then please send me the finest of tweets in perfect English. Thank you very much.
Your grammar will be highly scrutinized.
Right then, both teams on the bye. The Mac 10 continuing on to Olofmeister, and all but one have helmets here for NiP, the one being Makalele. But is he the one? Maybe this round will tell us.
Yeah, Molotov there for the barrels. We can see the classic mollies there, and a bit of spray in case there was a player running out of that position. Forest, meanwhile, has found himself some kills down the stairs. So Fnatic actually being pressured from all over the place. They wanted to play a slow round here, but nice aggressions forward in the map has allowed NiP to stop them from getting their plan working. And now they have to basically pick up the bomb and try to make something work. And they're just getting picked off here. Look how good this position is for Forest. This is one of the reasons why on this map you need to play for a lot of map control, why some teams really like playing from sewers, pressuring anyone out of that connector area, building into toilets control, and then you go for a play. And why some teams play it so slowly is because how dangerous it is if the CTs are a team that have a good understanding of your positioning and how to exploit it based on what you've done on the map. And Twist, surely he can't pull this out of the bag. There's a frag number 1, but he's down to 22, and that'll be the end of him. 10-9 is now the score. One away, NiP from tying this one up. Perhaps this game should have been a bit easier for them so far, though.
Perhaps indeed. AWPs on both teams for this round, and good utility. Let's see what the initial approach is from Fnatic. Will they want to break? Well, if they will, I'm sure they will, but it won't be the fast break towards B, that's for sure. There are, in fact, 3 players in B, so maybe NiP had a read that Fnatic might be going for a fast approach to the B bomb site. Get Right, Forest. Sorry, Get Right, Exist, and Freiburg all over towards B. And NiP have got Makalele and Forest on long. So they've abandoned a toilets area for the time being, which is where Fnatic have occupation, in part at least. They haven't cleared the inside. So time will still be spent doing so. There's another interesting grenade on top of the toilets. Having great joy in highlighting these. And it seems Fnatic might have half the read here. Moving through the lose, and they see that nobody's there. GetRight's got an off angle, but will they read that there might be players in long? In fact, Forest is coming in for a flank now, but will he be fast enough? They're looking for the flank. GetRight, meanwhile, will be taken down on the site. Now Makelele will rotate, leave Forest alone, and head towards the site. They'll spot Makelele there, but will they realize that there's probably two?
Yeah, that's worst case there. GetRight just needed to survive and delay. Didn't even have to kill anybody because of the positioning of his teammates around the push. And Fnatic did exactly what they needed to do to actually stop a successful round from NiP perhaps, but the individual skill is starting to shine. Dennis comes in for the flank here, but is he too slow? Ooh, not quite, and with Twist making frag here as well, there is a chance now for Dennis to clutch this. The bomb is in that awkward position, and there's no kit on either of these players. Oh, there is actually one on Exist, but Freiburg was the one defusing for some reason. And yeah, he's going to hold that.
I think Exist was closer to long. He was looking at long at the time, so I guess it was just position.
Yeah,
either way works out.
Had to be something like that.
Yeah, heats the moment and all that. 10-10, the score is tied up. Fnatic going... Sorry, I just broke my chair. Fnatic going for the buy. They know there is a chance to annihilate, eliminate, obliterate the CT Mohanis. Makelele is the only guy with 2k in the bank. The rest are poor. More Oliver Twist and Twist.
Poor as paupers. Okay, well, we got the slow movement here from Fnatic for map control. Will they be able to successfully, once again, circumvent these NiP players?
Lovely balloons.
Onto that A-bomb site previously on the A-bomb site. It was GetRight sitting there. He's on there again. He went down immediately. Again, if there's any delay, having the two players on long set up like they were previously is going to be very strong at just flanking the push and destroying it before the bomb can be planted.
That's an interesting smoke, but GetRight can look over it to some degree, or at least he's trying to. And will they see the barrel of his gun? Could be a nasty surprise. Surprise goes in favor of Fnatic. Makelele delivers. That's the bomb spotted, which means rotation, putting in more work. Twist goes down, almost a third, but not. 2 versus 2. The CT's out of position now. Freiburg behind the smoke. Exist behind Freiburg. And again, it's that big, open, exposed plant, that normal plant. This must be 90% of plants on the site, and it's so hard to deal with for the CT side of Molotov, but no smokes on the CTs. Olofmeister slowly backing off into long. Wenton will be in toilets, and he won't peek until he absolutely has to. Olof's close enough for the sound cues. Down goes Freiburg. Olof taking the fight to him with good timing. This is, or at least should be, unwinnable for Exist. Olof won't wait for the defuse to come in. Forward position, Wenton and Olof with all the kills. The only men surviving for Fnatic. They take the lead and they break the money of NiP.
That is a sorry state for NiP. Oh dear. We'll get the full buy coming in though, as they would need 2 saves anyway. And new man Makelele is the top fragger right now for the team. He's been having quite a good game. NiP looking to occupy sewers, and in doing so they get the close ranges, can maybe get ahead of the push before it comes in, which is another way you can win around like this. But Fnatic taking it very easy. Easy does it. And to some extent, NiP should be expecting monster play because, you know, granted they have that sewers information already, so it should confirm it. But it's so common as an anti-eco with good teams. But doesn't matter too much. Everybody's going down here. Wow. They lined up for GetRight, but that should be the end of that. Surely. This would be amazing if Makelele can do something here. James.
That nade has done reasonable damage, but that will do even more. Olofmeister is not having any of it. He's not allowing anybody to get into position. Post-plant situations, he is going to end things when he feels like it. He will dictate when the round is over. Can he dictate when the match is over? Fnatic 4 rounds away. NiP on another eco. Not much in the bank at the moment. That means Fnatic are in a good position to pull away. Will mistakes be made though on the anti-eco? Well, even if they will, NiP don't have any 5.7s, they don't have any CZs, they've just got pure stock pistols. Again, Freiburg on the P2000, everyone else on USPs, I think. I'm sure Forest is using a USP as well. Fnatic biding their time, not wanting to make any mistakes. They don't need to run too fast. Preying on the desperation of NiP looking for that information.
Nice. Get Right picks off Lecro there as they make their way in, but there's not really the firepower to do much else, I don't think, as the Fnatic players will get themselves onto the B-bomb site and no problems will be had. None, really, whatsoever. No problems. That's how I like it. That's how I like it.
Great, that's good to know.
13 to 10 now, and back on the buyer NiP, but you got to feel like this is one of the last chances, or maybe the last chance that they might get to get back into the series to actually win an overpass. Fnatic would be ecstatic after the Mousesports loss. If they could pull it over the line.
NiP with Forest and Get Right on this occasion, moving very quickly down a long area. But this is where the fast play into B comes to break the CT buy in a desperate time. 2 players headshot, sprayed down, and NiP may be forced to save in this situation. Forest is in T-spawn, Get Right's moving towards Connector, and Makalele is in CT, so they can't really combine the forces. They've got a man, well, they had a man disadvantage, but everything's been tied up now. But still, it's going to be a hard retake for NiP. Again, no trade situations in favor of the CTs. Player on the high ground is going to get a kill. And now there are chances. There is a defuse kit on to Get Right as well. Somehow Twist is the last man standing, and the bomb's surely not planted for him. Defuse is coming in from Get Right, and unless he finds an angle through the smoke, he won't, because Forest will deny him. What a retake from NiP. I thought they were done for. I thought there was no way they were doing that.
Yeah, they had only 3 guys left, right? 3 versus 4 on the retake, big rotation. Managed to pull it out the bag anyway. I mean, that's the thing. NiP can always get those individual performances in sometimes, and to get those victories. And this is one of those occasions. And we'll get. You talked about Get Right messing this smoke up earlier. Did he nail it? Oh, looks good. There we go. There we go. But it's not the version that you enjoy.
Nope. Mine is similar, but not the same.
But superior.
People tweet me and say, oh, this is your smoke, James, but that's not the one I do. The one I do lands on the T side of Monster, which is more advantageous, theoretically speaking, to the CTs. Forest goes down. That's not advantageous. Makalele is just on a deagle for this round, let's not forget. Despite winning the round, they have a worse buy, do NiP. Unbelievable that comeback in that round. But perhaps it's not enough. Early disadvantages, time on the side of Fnatic, and again they seem to be waiting for NiP to hang themselves. But hanging themselves they won't. Makalele leaves with most of his life intact. This is a situation where, does he want to stay alive? Does he want to take the fight? He'll do both. Well, he won't stay alive, but he will get a kill with the HE. So he's done more work, surprisingly more than maybe we would expect in that situation with the deagle. 2 players down for him. He's done his team well.
Yeah, 3 on 3, 40 seconds to go. Bomb is making its way towards the B site. Entries are highly important. We're seeing a retake posturing from NiP at the moment. Freiburg's just going to try to maybe get a kill as they come in, and then just try to hold down his position. He has a flashbang to do that with. First grenade in from Fnatic. Oh wow, that was savage.
Is this retake too much to ask for NiP? They are facing another economic reset. Exist pushing in from the lower area, as is Get Right. They're both together, slowed down by the Molotov. They've both got a kit. Exist has a Molotov, but that's about it. More grenades coming their way. There's one more flashbang on Wenton for him to deploy as well. That's going to waste so much time. Down goes Exist, and Get Right's going to immediately cancel the plans.
Yeah, Fnatic, one more round for them. 2 away now from closing things down, and the money is terrible for NiP. Back to $1,400 as a loss bonus. And they have not had much success, as they shouldn't, on some of their pistol rounds. So, ooh, Get Right. Okay, he's okay. He's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. Everything's fine.
And here we can see just clearing out the A side of the map. Very nicely done. And interestingly, you know, normally you would expect it to be harder to do that by yourself, like solo plays, just clearing out the A side of the map. It requires typically pop flashes, you know, good setups. from the T's to attempt that. But Fnatic have been, I think, really strong individually today. It wasn't enough against Mouse Sports, but against NiP so far, it seems to be the case. An AK and a bunch of pistols. Who's your money on, James?
Probably the pistols, to be honest. 3 players outside of B, just waiting. Again, Fnatic are just waiting for NiP to try and get an advantage, considering all of their disadvantages. Waiting for them to peek too far. Freiburg starting to move close to short, just as Fnatic start to move in through the tunnel. There is a smoke there. Freiburg's keeping an eye on the sandbags for any boost. He wants to one-tap with that 5-7. Olofmeister still lurking around the playground area, while the rest of his team swarm around the B bomb site. 3 CTs there waiting, but are they ready? Freiburg is.
Maybe you were right to have the money on the pistols, but maybe not everybody's melting away against the offensive Fnatic now as they take the B bomb site. And it's just 2 players left for NiP to try to do anything here, and it's not really going to happen, I don't think. Maybe they can... I don't know if they could even engineer a scenario where they could steal a weapon away, but that would be pretty nice. Ooh, maybe it's possible now. What's he going to get done here? Running in for it. Gets dropped immediately by Twist. 15-11 match point here for Fnatic. Wow.
And the money has been taken away by force. The banks have come in and left them with not much. Exist with big pop-up pump. Other than that, we've got pistols. The Nova. Got to be pretty accurate with that, as we may find out in a few minutes. A decoy grenade on Exist. A decoy grenade and a Nova. Does he have any shenanigans? Does he have any Nova shenanigans, Dan, with a decoy grenade up his sleeves? Does he have sleeves?
The important questions from you, James, as ever. Well, Fnatic, they found their way up the A side of the map at the moment, so they've been able to circumvent what is the defense of NiP for the time being. And Dennis will be the front man, the front runner in this situation here for Fnatic. And finally, Getro's going to make his way back towards A to see if there is movement there, and indeed there is. Ooh, this could be problematic. Twist is basically the most at-risk player to be in this position, but maybe not. Nice little no-scope there to finish things off. Dennis working the magic onto the A-bomb site, and it is... I mean, I don't think NiP are long for this world, James.
Unless Exist goes nuclear with the Nova, then you might be right. Makelele's picked up an AK. In the meantime, he's coming in for the flank, but Lekro surely hears him. And now there'll be more targets. So far, so good. Patient play from Makelele. The man advantage is still with the T's. Flying Nova will only get 1 kill, leaving Makelele alone. He's got 2 so far. Gets himself 1 versus 1. Going down to the Deagles. Delivered so many kills for him already, but not on this occasion. 16-11. Fnatic take NiP's pick.
Yeah, they're going to be really happy about this after that Mousesports defeat. And NiP, I wonder how the team feels right now. Of course, they had that great tournament with Makelele, but overall, was that just an isolated occurrence? It does remain to be seen.
There's always a honeymoon period, Dan.
Yeah.
It's all fun. Petals on the floor, room service, trips to the beach. But afterwards, it's nappies, blocked toilets, bills, and distrust and all that fun stuff. So I'll leave it up to you guys. We'll be back in a short while, in a few seconds. Have a look at these replays. So we have the pick of NiP being won by Fnatic, and that was a good performance, maybe better than the performance versus Mousesports. What are the thoughts of the desk?
I think that it started out well for NiP. I mean, when they were on their own terrace side, they were running some of the things you'd expect them to. I thought their B executes were going really well. You could see Get Right getting more involved, which has kind of been like a thing that they've been trying to do ever since Sturt became a coach. And I think they won that half like 8-7 from their T side. So I thought that, okay, this is actually going pretty well. But then Fnatic, similar to Cash, just brute force style, right? Very aggressive executes. Twist had an unbelievable game. I think he was near 30 frags before it was all said and done. Dennis was right next to him doing well. That seems to be like a really good little pairing they have right now as kind of like a 1-2 punch, since Olaf seems to be playing a lot of solo roles now. So yeah, I mean, just really brilliant performances. They out-traded NiP. I feel was probably the biggest storyline of the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, you know, when it comes to the CT side of NiP, the fact that they didn't really find too much luck with, you know, we talked about how they could change up from playing passively to being aggressive. They didn't find too much really with their aggressive plays whenever they would set up in an aggressive manner. We didn't see Michael have the same kind of impact with the Op or Force for that matter when they opted to try to find that early pick, which obviously is going to make it a lot harder for you depending on what kind of utility you have left and everything. So I don't think that was the greatest performance we've seen out of NiP, but you got to give credit to Fnatic for coming up way better than what they did versus Mousesports. Obviously, it's a bit different play style that we see in Mousesports and NiP in terms of just how they play their CT sides, but Fnatic definitely found some gaps, and especially the sudden executions onto the B bomb site were something that NiP struggled massively with.
Then Dan, you were, I'm sure, expecting an NiP victory there. Do you think? I mean, how much of a factor do you think national rivalry plays into this? Because it's not the same as more international matchups.
Well, yeah, any domestic matchup, I mean, no team likes to play another team directly from their region, especially if it's a tight region. I think especially when you come to the really top tier regions that we expect in Europe in Counter-Strike, those regions themselves are quite small, and it's even, I mean, to some extent, quite incestuous in many ways, because these players have played with each other in so many situations in different teams, in different pugs. And, you know, in France, it's the same thing. No French team likes playing another French team. No Swedish team likes playing another Swedish team. And it's due to the fact that you know all these tendencies. And it kind of, the meta game becomes as to what you would expect from the kind of macro perspective of what the meta game looks like in the entire game as it's developing as a whole in the professional scene, is completely different typically in a domestic matchup, because that's when you're like, well, there's the meta game, but I know this guy likes to do this more than this other thing. So then you start making decisions outside of that, and then it can appear random to what people expect. So it just feels off, and so you can have really weird games. And obviously, with the amount of skill that Fnatic have, I mean, they have the skills to pay the bills. Twist was amazing. Twist was absolutely godlike throughout all these series that we've seen so far today. So yeah, Fnatic, they were able to have that stability, and it worked with the individual skill.
Well, that's Fnatic having a recovery in the early matches of the ECS League, and NiP not off to a good start, but definitely for Mouse. Now we will be moving over to the North American matches, of which there are 6 today, but we'll have a look at those a little bit later on. First up, we're going to have 2 new pieces of content for you. The second one is for any of you budding map makers out there. There will be some tutorials running through this season of ECS, so look out for that. But first, we took, I mean, the sound updates in CSGO have been somewhat controversial. Do you have any opinions in brief at the new sounds?
I think some of them are a bit ridiculous. I think the op is like the resounding sound it has is maybe a bit too much. But for me, I don't worry too much about it. Like, I'm focused more on gameplay updates. I can kind of get used to the sounds, I suppose.
What about you, Halvor?
I hate them. Well, straight up.
Let us know what you think. We went to have a look. I actually own a Nova in real life, so we went shooting with a video crew to see what it sounds like in real life compared to the game. Have a look.